Hey everybody, and welcome back to my 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors voice acting let's play. Last time we spent a million years trying to work the Pushmaster 5000, but we finally figured it out. So now we're gonna go and see what the heck is in that coffin. So that's about all you need to know to be caught up on. Alright, finally climbing the stairs. What's in the coffin? What's in it? They walked slowly past the row of crates until they came to the coffin. They stopped and nodded to one another, and Junpei put his hand on the lid of the coffin. I hope it's not a body. Oh, God. Mummy! Just kidding. He smirked heartily at his own joke. Junpei grumbled and shook his head. Whatever, just open it. Junpei resisted the urge to remind Santa that Remind Santa that he would have had it open a long time ago if Santa hadn't interrupted, and quickly threw out the lid of the coffin. What's in it? They peered inside. A gun? Contrary to what they'd expected, the inside of the coffin was quite large. It was mostly empty, but not completely so. Lying on the bottom was a rusty key, and next to the key was a golden gun. It's a gun! Yeah, a revolver. It looks pretty old. I wonder if this is a replica. Junpei reached down slowly and cautiously picked up the revolver. A replica of what? In his hand it felt heavy. He checked the cylinder. There were 6 bullets. Oh my god. He'd never seen a real gun or even a real bullet before. He couldn't tell if these were real or not. The barrel was rifled, and nothing seemed to be blocking it. As Ace had said, the gun was a very old one. However, it appeared to have been well maintained. If it was a real gun, Junpei thought it would most likely function perfectly. If it was real... Holding the gun made Junpei feel unpleasant. Carefully, he placed it back in the coffin. You're not gonna take it? Of course not. All something like this is gonna do is cause more trouble. It's a powerful weapon that gives one person a huge advantage. Something like that would be way too dangerous to have around. We're in enough danger already. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Maybe Zero put this gun here, hoping that something like that might happen. In other words, maybe he put it here to make us fight each other. In that case, we should most certainly leave it here. I, for one, have no desire to let Zero control me. The others nodded. They had no desire to be under Zero's control either. Okay, we've got that figured out, but you aren't gonna leave that key in there, are you? Yeah, of course I'm not. Junpei picked up the rusty key and slid the top of the coffin back into place. The gun were back where he had found it. Rusty key. A rusty key. Maybe I can use this. I should say so. There's a revolver in this coffin. What was that thing for? Junpei! I know, I'll be there in just a minute. Now's not the time to be thinking about the coffin. I need to focus on getting out of here. Back I go. Stairs. Let's just put this key in here and... Yes, sounds like that did it! Yay! Looks like it's open, Junpei! I see. This key should open this door. Hey, what are you waiting for? Let's go! Yes, it's opening. Da-da-da-da! You found it! I found a way out! Ta-da! The hallway that left the cargo room headed straight toward the stern. Junpei and the other 3 proceeded down it silently. Some distance along it, a large room opened up on the left-hand side. It looked familiar. An iron grate covered each of the elevators. Junpei and his companions drew to a stop, and began to discuss what their next move should be. We've seen this elevator before. We got up the one on the left just a little while ago. Then we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room. Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room. And now we're back here. In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started. Junpei approached the elevator. Gently, he pushed the triangular button on the wall next to it. A moment passed. The I've seen that symbol before. That was the red thing on the coins. The elevator door opened. Why is that a mystery? And shut. Pushing the button had apparently restored power to the elevator. Was it not working? I don't remember. The elevator was now functional. What do we do? Should we return to C deck? No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down here first. Down there first. I agree. Let's go! Their decision made, Junpei and some companions left the elevators behind and continued down the hallway. Some time later, Santa, who had been walking several paces in front of the rest, suddenly stopped. Set in the wall in front of him was the door. Interesting. So far as Junpei could see, there was no other way to proceed. It was the door or nothing. All right, let's open it. Junpei took a deep breath, readied himself, then grabbed the doorknob and pulled the door open. Well, that's pushing. But okay. He paused for a moment, then stepped through into the room. And there he saw the number that had hung over their heads since they'd woken up. Did they find... Oh my god, they found the 9 door. Oh my god, guys, what does that mean? What does it mean? 9. Like the numbers on every other door, that this one too was a rough shape made of red paint. Its door was set into the back wall of the room. Junpei leapt toward it with a sudden burst of hopeful energy. It was a large double door, heavy and full of solemn importance. He grabbed hold of the door handle and shook. Nothing, but he hadn't expected it to open. The red sat on the wall next to the door. Its screen read vacant. Finally, they'd found it. Junpei felt himself overwhelmed by a torrent of emotion. At last they'd found the exit, but cold gripped his heart. He knew all too well why. As he stood, frozen, unsure of what to think or feel. Junpei, look! Behind you! He spun around, and he couldn't believe what he saw. Oh my god, what is it? I'm so excited, guys. It was a door with the number 9 written across it. Oh my god, are there 2? Was there a second door? That's really creepy. I don't know why that's really creepy to me. Why? Junpei's voice was barely audible, even to himself. He stumbled toward the second door, as if somehow compelled. It was a small single door. It sat in the starboard corner of the room, on the same wall as the door they'd entered from, but in the opposite corner. 9. There was no mistaking it. A red sat on the wall next to this door as well. Junpei shook the door handle pointlessly and muttered to himself. Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors? It was Santa who answered. There were always 2 doors. Just think about it. The 0 never said there's only 1 door with a 9 on it. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9. Of course, we just assumed that there was only 1. After all, why would there be more than 1? Oh man. Jeez. Junpei was stunned. Zero's trick had taken him completely by surprise. There were 2 doors. That meant that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape and leave no one behind. Well, maybe. Like, I wonder if this was like a thing to like purposely start leaving people behind. Like, oh, well, you're not going to make it to the door, so you're going to have to stay behind here. Maybe. Now the reason for the bracelet numbers being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 was clear. Was it? Divided in 2, the digital root for both teams would be 9. But now that people are dead, they can't make it. For instance, 1, 2, 7, 8, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, the digital root for both teams would be 9. 4, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, the digital root would also be 9. There were many other workable combinations, but they all ended the same way, with a digital root of 9. What did that mean? The answer was quite simple. From the very beginning, the nonary game was designed to save all 9 people. Wow. Zero hadn't been lying. Zero had never said there was only 1 door. But anyone who'd found themselves in the game would have assumed that that was the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed. But eventually they would reach the room Junpei now found himself in and realize the pointlessness of whatever violence they'd visited upon each other. There were 2 doors. No need to kill each other. They'd understand and be appalled, overwhelmed with guilt at what they'd done. Perhaps that was the purpose of the game. That was how the nonary game was meant to be played. Fortunately, they hadn't started to fight one another, at least not yet. But if one misstep was made, if wrong mistakes happened, the stakes would rise and the noose would tighten. I mean, aside from the fact that the ninth man and Snake are dead, like, can the rest still get out? The thought of it sent a chill down his spine. So, what are we going to do, Junpei? A voice broke through Junpei's frantic thoughts. Santa's voice. It brought Junpei back to his senses. No use worrying about the future. He needed to figure out what they were going to do next. I mean, isn't that the future? I think he would mean the past. There were 4 people in the room. Ace, Santa, Junpei, and June. Bracelet numbers were 1, 3, 5, 6. Their due to the root would be 6. In other words, the 4 of them couldn't open a door with the number 9. But what if there were only 3? Could door 9 be opened with 3 of them? It took him no time at all to determine the answer. There was only one combination of 3 people that would give a digital root of 9. Probably not June, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. June would have to be left behind. Is that the only possibility? I guess there's no way for June and Junpei to get through, because that's 11, and 3 would be 5. Oh, June has to be left behind. 1359, that would mean. No, we gotta go back. That wasn't a possibility he was willing to consider. Santa and Ace agreed. Yep, I agree. We cannot leave June behind. Oh, they care. Junpei let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. Are you sure? I don't mind staying. Well, who are the others? So 7 Clover, so that's 11 plus 8. That's 19. Wait, did I do that right? 7 and Clover is 11 plus 8, yeah, 19. So that would be 1. So they couldn't open it. But if they added June, 19 plus 6 is 25, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so she can't go with them either. Well, assuming they kept the groups. June's body betrayed her true feelings. Her eyes were wet with the beginnings of tears, and her legs shook. It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind. That's so nice. Santa had said what Junpei had known the moment he realized which 3 people could go through the door. Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest. Oh. Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta. Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis? Oh, right. Perhaps it was a sudden reassurance that no one wanted to leave June behind, but Junpei laughed harder than he had in some time. Santa and Ace smiled. You guys. June blinked tears from her eyes and bit her lip. She didn't seem to know what else to say. Very well, we'd best head back to sea deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, 7, and Lotus will have returned from door 1. I mean, is it still possible for everybody to get out? Because 2 people are gone. I don't know. Even as they spoke, they knew finding the others wouldn't improve the situation. There's no way they could be split into teams that could both go through the doors. That's what I was worried about. Ace knew it. They all knew it. But there was nothing else they could do. They would find the other 3 and search for another solution. All right, let's go. Ace looked at all 3 of them, then turned and headed through the door. Santa and June followed. Junpei started toward the door, then stopped. He'd been too busy with other concerns to notice the room itself. It didn't seem terribly important now, but what exactly was it? Junpei looked around the room, for the first time noticing the things that weren't doors with 9s on them. Is it a church? A red carpet ran between 2 columns of wooden benches that ran the length of the room. It's a church. The carpet began at the large set of double doors, then ran towards the bow, toward... Junpei wasn't sure. I don't know. Was it an altar, perhaps? There was a small rectangular alcove at the end of the carpet, and inside the alcove was a raised platform. Resting on the top of the platform was a coffin. Another one? A coffin. A coffin. What on earth was a coffin doing in a place like that? But before Junpei had time to answer that question... Hey, Junpei! The hell are you doing? Let's move! Santa's voice echoed in from the hall outside. Right, okay, I'll be right there. Junpei turned on his heel and left the quiet, somber room. Oh my god, that's way too creepy. That's way too creepy. Oh my god, no. No. Oh my god. That is way too creepy. I'm really scared right now. Oh my god. Something is knocking in the coffin. Oh my god. I'm really scared right now. Oh my god. Ew. No. Oh god, this is a really scary game all of a sudden. Ugh, I'm so glad it's not dark, because I would be freaking out. I would probably end it there, because I'm so... Oh. What's in there? Oh my god, what is in there? That's so creepy. They took the elevator up to C-Deck. I'm so scared right now. Once there, they headed back to the main hall and central staircase. It didn't take them long. Junpei found Seven and Lotus waiting for them. They didn't look happy. Oh my god, where's Clover? We've got a problem. Clover's gone! Junpei... This music is creepy too. I'm so done with this game right now. I'm really scared. Junpei and his three companions looked at one another. He turned back to Seven and Lotus. What do you mean, gone? Santa, Ace, and June had their own questions to ask. When? Why? You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you? Seven and Lotus responded as best they could. Yeah, we went through the door together. But Clover barely spoke to us. She just did her own thing the whole time. There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1. She wouldn't let us into the 4th room. She just said, I'll take care of this one. And shut the door. She must have blocked it with something on the other side. We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out. We called for her, but she didn't answer. So I kicked it down the door and we went into the room. But... It was empty. Clover wasn't there. There was a door on the other wall. And it was open. We figured she opened the door and left by herself. We ran after her, of course, but... Well, obviously we didn't find her. You figured out that much. Clover's gone. Well, what was on that side? Like, what was out there? Junpei thought for a moment. When did this happen? We got here just before you. You certainly have excellent timing. So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase? No, we haven't. Finally, Ace spoke. His voice had an edge of resolve and concern. Very well then, we'd best separate and look for Clover. We haven't much time left. Let's begin. There were quick nods all around, and the 6 remaining players spread out. Oh my gosh. Junpei and June ran into the central hospital room and looked around. She's not here. No, she isn't. They searched a little longer, but with no luck. They couldn't find Clover. Finally, they gave up and left the central hospital room. Slowly, they made their way back to the hallway. At last, they reached the stairs, and Junpei spoke. Alright, I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck. Alright, that sounds good. But, What? Could you stop calling me by that codename when we're alone? Huh? Oh, sure, right. I'll do that. There was a reason Junpei persisted in calling her June, even when they were alone. Although, perhaps not the best reason. I guess so he's used to it so he doesn't slip. He was embarrassed to call her by the nickname he'd used when they were children. Canny. Canny. 9 years ago, it came naturally. After all, they were children. 9 years ago. But now that they were adults, it felt strange. Regardless of what he might hope for, to call a woman he wasn't dating by such a childish nickname felt odd to him. Of course, to call her Miss Kurashiki would be even more awkward, and simply Kurashiki would seem a little brusque. And although he couldn't put his finger on why, it felt somewhat forward to call her Akane when they hadn't seen one another for so long. In short, it was simply easier for him to call her June and leave it at that. Alright, I'm going then. Yeah, be careful, Connie. June, or perhaps more appropriately Connie, blushed and smiled. You be careful too, Junpei. Yeah, got it. Take care. Wonder what Connie means. Alright, well anyway, this episode's getting long and it's getting creepy, so I'm done for now. So, thanks for watching everybody, and we'll see what happens. It's getting good. I'm so curious now. Oh gosh, okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!